It's all about education. You have to be educated. Yeah. It can be a blessing, it can be a curse. Like we discussed, anything in the world, it has got two sides. It's two sides of the coin. So obviously, if we are educated, if our children are educated, if they are given right education, right from the childhood, yeah. So it's the technology is not only Netflix or watching films and cartoon films and playing video games. It's more than that.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts. Welcome to Tech Time with Sweet Tea, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of technology and how it can either serve you or, well, not serve you. Here is your host, Sweet Tea, and he's on a mission to help you harness the power of tech in your life. Join him as he chats with people about their tech journeys. From the latest gadgets to digital dilemmas, we'll explore it all. So grab your favorite device, hit that play button, and let's keep it real in the world of tech. Tech Time with Sweet Tea is here to help you stay plugged in and empowered. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real. I'm Sweet Tea. This is Keeping It Real Tech Time with Sweet Tea, and I'm talking with everyone I can across the globe. And this next guest I have about to introduce to you momentarily is literally on the other side of the world. Please welcome to the show Darpan Schdeva right now. How are you doing today? What are you excited about today, Darpan?
Oh, thank you so much, Tommy. It's a great honor to be with you here today on your podcast. And I just came to India last week came to meet my parents. So I live in UK in south of England, and so I'm super excited to have this conversation with you. And I hope that it will be a lots of big source of inspiration and information. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think this one's been a long time coming. I've asked you before, and you declined for busy reason, and we're finally making it happen. So it's happening now. And just the other day, I talked with someone else who I'm going to be editing that one as well, along with this episode. And I talked with an important episode. That episode's soon to be released as I finalize that. But she's in the London, UK area as well.
Okay.
But are you visiting India, or are you back like in a permanent basis?
No, I'm visiting my parents.
So you're in the visiting state and visiting.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be here till somewhere in the mid of next month.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan. If it doesn't change.
Yeah, I've had other guests also from the UK. So this is a global podcast. Just need to make it. I'm working on the growth this year. I've been consistent and everything. But who are you? I like to start out with this basic ID questions. Who are you, and what do you do in this world?
So I have been on and off entrepreneur through the life, and now in the last about over a decade, I've got into personal development industry. So I got highly fascinated by with the technological growth as we had in the last 2 decades, I would say. So technology is ever growing, increasing, and with my inclination towards personal development industry, so I started reading and blogging started a blog on the personal development industry, and started meeting with successful people, entrepreneurs, people who are using technology in their life, and work from home culture. So just to learn about that, how these mantras were working, the success baselines for them were, and not only on the internet based, but in the offline world also. It was always, always an excitement for me. So started my own VoIP company, closed that, sold it successfully, then started another venture, a digital marketing company. Now I'm in the process of I'm setting it up and developing that on by a couple of e-commerce stores. So what the total interest is around technology and combined with personal development industry. So that's where my heart lies, and I would love to share that with the world, whatever I have to give. I have learned over the years and would like to give it to the next generations. That's what it is.
I see you have a Facebook group, you have a YouTube channel. I saw, and I'll ask you all about that, like in here in a little bit too. And like you mentioned, personal growth. Does anything to do with School of Greatness?
Absolutely, Tommy. That's through School of Greatness, through Lewis.
Say his name, Lewis House. Lewis House.
Yeah, Lewis House. That's how we came to know you. I mean, we came to know each other, I think. So that was, I think, a couple of years back. And obviously, he's one of the leaders in the personal development, and he's a great entrepreneur. So he's a very big inspiration for me personally, and I think for the world. Definitely, there's no doubt about that.
I would say that his podcast was the first one I listened to and the inspiration for this podcast. So that anytime I bring it up every time when I can fit it in.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of the leading podcasts in the world, I think, today. And I mean, you have others like Tim Ferriss. I follow him quite. I'm a great fan of Tim Ferriss. And you have Jay Shetty, you have Vishen Lakhiani, you have I don't know. I've got few other areas. Tony Robbins, yeah, but not much. I mean, I listen quite often to Lewis Hovis. Yeah, that's so. You have these inspirational sources in the world today who are there, and that's a great source of inspiration. So,
and for great reason too. Like when he talks about his just to get off that tangent real quick, why we do the things we do, it's important to have that why. He was sitting in traffic one day, and the podcast wasn't really a thing too much yet. There was maybe the Joe Rogan podcast, and that was it, or not too much. It didn't kick off yet. It was probably 2011. He's sitting in traffic, in LA traffic, moving to LA, and he was just thinking one day, if you heard the story, let me know, but that he was thinking, what is something that people need to hear, and it came up like how to be great, or he got around to make a long story short, you can listen to the full version from him himself, because he tells it, I think, multiple times. But he came up with what is not taught in schools that should be.
Absolutely, Tommy, and that is so important. I mean, if you go back to if you go back 20 years back, or let's say 25 years back, the professions which we had, the protocols, and we studied for the professions was the standard. It was a standard formula. Yeah, so you go to the school, you study some subjects, science or arts or commerce, and then you have certain jobs which you have to do, right? So engineers, doctors, and there are set teachers, could be, But the last 20 years, with the growth of the technology, Tommy, the professions which were never heard of, you had they just popped up from somewhere. And now it's the age where we're living. You don't have to go through, be a good in physics, and at the same time, you have to do, a chemistry and earn a good living because you want to be an engineer and then have a good life. You don't need that. Yeah, so the technology has changed the whole game of the world scenario for the people to have employments for the growth. You could just have one skill, right? A graphic designer or a marketer, right? Or a podcaster, right? And you can have millions out of it successfully if you do that. So codings, you just learn one language, Java, you learn from C++, or you learn, it started with HTML and we have got no end to it now. So technology, it's all technology, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's two pillars, the two wheels of the cart, I would say. If you want to grow, you have to have technology by side. So that's where I do feel, and I do trust and do believe that, Tommy, your role will be ever growing. Since you are a man of technology yourself, that's going to be a huge thing, always.
Yeah, I'm told that, and I told many things. Like one things I realized this last year, someone was telling me. I was telling him something, and then I end up saying, "Well, what are you good at?" They are asking me, "What am I good at?" And
Right.
I can figure anything in about a day, maybe a week if it's a little more complicated. But give me a day, and I can have it figured out.
Absolutely.
And this lady who asked me that was like, you should market that. I can figure out anything. I don't need to read much literature on stuff. Hardly any literature. I can figure something out, how it works.
It's all right. So we have more information than the president of US had 25 years back, and it's all on your mobile set with you. You don't need much. If you have a mobile set with you, with a smartphone, you can have all the information in the world. You can learn anything today.
20 years ago, when it was just starting out, we didn't
have that.
We had it, or it was in its infancy, and we didn't know what we had 20 years ago, what was coming, because it was just starting out.
Yeah. And Tommy, you are a US, you are American, right? So everything bursts out of America to the world, basically, right? And that has been more or less the trend. I'm not saying that it might have little bit shifted now in the last last decade maybe. It has come over to Europe, maybe to Asia, Singapore, Japan, India. Yeah, things are changing a little bit, but whatever happens in America happens in the world at some stage. That has been the trend always, yeah. Just imagine you being an American, 20 years back, if you say that you didn't have much of exposure at that time as an American, can you imagine somebody in India 20 years back? Obviously, our exposure in India would have been much less than in the West. Are you getting that, right? So even with that lesser exposure, India is a developing country, right? So that exposure was less. Still, if you see the growth in India right now, in the middle class, if you see the new India which is coming up, if you see the China, there's a growth boom going up. All this has happened because of technology. because the world has become a smaller place with the connectivity, with the powerful strength what we have today. I mean, I'm sitting in New Delhi, you are sitting in US, in Texas.
I have friends in Gangtok, Sikkim. I have friends in Rome, Italy. I've sat in a Toastmasters meeting in Italy,
Yeah, I
Saudi
also do.
Arabia.
Right. You see, the world has become a smaller place now. So the only thing is we need more of personal development to go along with the technology. Why? Why? Because if we do not have the personal development alongside with the technology, it might go hayward. It might go left and right, which is a dangerous place to go.
But
So that's
bring up the one of the questions I like to ask, and it's a good place to start too. We're connected, more connected than ever, but at times, like, you could sit alone with your device, and I pose the question: do you think we are more connected or more isolated with technology?
it's two sides of the coin, Tommy, I would say. So as anything in the world, if you do get good things, you do get a share of the bad thing along with it. It never comes as a white and black. Everything, yeah. So it's a gray. It's a gray. It's always a balance. Yeah. So it's never like that everything is going to be green, that everything is going to be, it's like a utopia. It becomes a utopia. It's not the real world. It's how you use the technology,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's the application, what you do with it, that's important. So what we are doing with you is a productive application of it. We are sharing ideas. Yeah. You are doing a great job through your podcast. Yeah. I am trying to do that same thing on my podcast of personal development. Yeah. So we are trying to do the good things out of it, right? It can become isolation too if you just close yourself in a room and just swipe your social medias and just watch and get jealous and envious of the world, of the people around. Yeah, somebody is having a good time, you're not having a good time. So that's the way it can become a source of depression too. Depression, isolation, solitude. It all depends on you. So it's how, like anything, it's two sides of the coin. You have to take the technology, apply it to your life with the knowledge of self development. That's why you have that um, the knowledge of growth, self improvement has to be there. That yes, I have the technology, I will apply it for my goodness and for the goodness of the society around me. Yeah, what can I do for the people with what I'm doing? What can I give to the people? People will give you back. You do your part and you'll get your part reward.
Exactly. Everyone has value, whether you realized it or not yet. Everyone has value. Everyone has a creative
Absolutely.
side to them. I believe. I 100% believe.
Absolutely.
Is it realized? Have you dug that far deep in your mind to see that yet, or are you still stuck in that comparison? You're looking at your phone. I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Yeah, but
Are
Tommy,
are you digging into that?
I certainly I'm not a perfectionist. You are always a learner, but I do know that I am better than 10 years back. I was. I try to be better every single day. Maybe a little baby step, but it has to be a little better. So the way I see the social media, the way I see the technology today, I do not see it the way I used to see maybe a couple of years back. Yeah. Obviously, I'm as human as anybody else. So we all had that comparison thing when we started. Yeah, we used to compare with somebody. We still do that. Once in a while, it does pops up. Yeah. Oh my God, he's so successful. He's doing that what you are just dreaming to do. Tommy, that thing. Somebody's doing it. So it does come up in your life. But the important is that it's changing. It's changing the way we look at the technology, the way we are using it for us. And that thing has come up within you to give. Yeah, to give more than to take. So that change in you is what is important.
Flip it around. How instead of that, when we talk, going back to the comparison thing, okay, I want that. How do I get that? How can I maybe talk to this person? How can I reach out? How can I
Exactly.
connect to them and ask them questions and ask them, have a conversation? How'd you get here? And what did it take from you? What did it take for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ask them constructive questions rather than just not connecting at all. Connect with them.
Exactly. It's a connection. It's a connection. And
The world's a smaller place. Connect with them wherever they're at in the world.
absolutely, Tommy. That is $1 million word you have said. It's so true.
It's 4 years ago, was things what I seemed to learn that I needed was more connection, and now I'm really connected with a bunch of people
You
around the
are.
world, you
You are.
included.
I follow you. I see you, what you do, and follow. I mean, I'm following you on a regular basis. Yeah, I see what you do. I watch your videos sometimes with how much time I get, and I follow your activities. So your growth is going up. I can see that. It's growing up. So that's a commendable thing that not everybody can do that. So if it's so long, it's growing. You're on the right track.
Took some workshops and trainings, and not just School of Greatness,
Absolutely.
but the friend company that I took some trainings with there too. So there's work involved. Like you put in work to get into a place sometimes, to get into the right mind space.
Definitely. Yeah.
But you do work every day, and you don't have to do it like a lot a day. You can, if you do it every day, then you can get there faster even too.
Right. And all your horizon, Tommy, all your vision of the world, it changes. How
Every
you
day.
see the world, it changes. It's not about what I can get out of it, but you start looking at it, what I can contribute towards it. You see that the flip of the thoughts, they change. So from where did they come? You just kept on repeating. You kept on learning, and that got engraved within you. So work has to be done. I mean, you cannot be, okay, one day, in the good morning, and I'll change today. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes you have to it's a constant journey. It's a journey. You have to keep doing it on a regular basis, come what may.
Part of the training that helped me realize: feel, thought, say, do, habit.
Exactly.
And that takes at least 3 months to do that whole process.
Right.
At least 3 months, and then you can create a habit.
Absolutely. I mean, it does play, and it flips your mindset, everything changes. Read good books. There's so many personal development books. Lewis Howes has given some great books he has written. Yeah. So the one book which I can put always in the number one place, seat in my life would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I mean, that's one book I don't feel bored reading again and again. Every time you read it, there is something which you had missed last time, or you might want to look at it a little differently. Every time I go through that. Although I've got Tony Robbins right now, the money management thing, the money game. I just got this book recently on Amazon. But I mean, these books are good. They keep you on particular niches, and they do help you in changing your mindset. But just imagine if you had converted yourself into something, Tommy, and you have got that improvement within you, and you're not sharing it with anybody. What's the use of that? So the value of technology is important when you are achieving something and you're able to give it to the world. Exactly what you are doing right now. So that's very powerful.
I'm receiving that, and I thank you for those comments.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned before 20 years ago when the internet first started, what we had 20 years ago. Question, what's something that you have now with technology that you wish you had back then?
Freedom, man. Freedom. Freedom is the one word which comes. Yes, freedom.
Why?
I'm not doing.
Why do you say freedom?
Freedom. Your incomes have they are based on internet.
Mm-hmm.
Your jobs are based on internet, on technology. Your social life is dependent on technology. So I'll give you an example. When I grew up, when I was in my 20s, from India, if we had to make a call to America, so I have relatives, I have aunts, and I've got sisters and brothers who are born Americans. Yeah, they are second, third generation immigrants. Now, when we had to call to them, we had to go to there. They used to be in India called STD booths. So you had to go, or you had to book the telephone line from them with trunk calls, and you had to pay heavy money for that. It used to be at that time, I think, $5 if converted to US dollars, $5 a minute. Yeah.
Like if you want to be specific, $4.99 a minute. Yeah.
And now it's free, man. It's on the WhatsApp, Viber, and all this. I mean, you don't care at all. I mean, I keep speaking all throughout the world all day. Yeah. And just imagine, and we had to wait. He used to allocate you a time. So wait till 12 to 1, your call will be connected to America. And we used to wait and get the trunk call, and then used to be able to speak to our dear ones, or family or friends, whatever. And now, with the growth of the technology, you're not doing that anymore. It's a freedom. I'm driving and I'm just speaking to Tommy in Texas. I'm sitting in New Delhi.
If you have an iPhone, I have an iPhone here. If you have an iPhone, iOS messages, iMessage, and you can FaceTime, you can call.
Exactly.
Just with an internet plan.
Yeah, this is just one instance. Take any industry. You take relationships. You take your finances. You take your your jobs, your charities, and whatever you're doing, religious outputs. Everything has got freedom now. I want to practice Hinduism. I'm a Hinduist, so I go to temples sometimes, right? So if I'm not able to go, I can always have online right now. I can go to a temple in US right now with my aunt. She does something. She's on Zoom calls, and we are attending that. And she's attending something happening in India. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can see how Jews do go to synagogue and what they do. What somebody is doing in mosques. I mean, so it's all open now. You see, it's again freedom. You're not confined to one particular. It's all technology. You want to have relationships with the there are websites, yeah. Go and Tinder.com. You want to have date with somebody, right? It's open, right? You want to in India we have Shadi.com for marriages, yeah. So you can have your wife, your husband, everything online, right?
My
So
big thing why Toastmasters have adopted the internet and Zoom, and now we have online Toastmaster clubs.
so you're a Toastmaster. You have. I'm also a part of a local Toastmaster in South in Bournemouth, and so yeah, Toastmaster is a great place to be.
And my
Yes.
my clubs, the girl I just talked with the other day, she's a member of my club. She lives in the UK, and she's a member of our club, and we have
Yeah.
an
So
other
are you?
club. We have
You're
members around the
organizing.
world.
Lovely. You're organizing yourself, the club.
Organizing myself.
Yeah, the Toastmaster Club. Is it you are the organizer for that?
There's the officers. You're familiar with the officer roles.
Oh,
I'm second in. I'm the second line officer in one. I'm the president of
yes.
one, and I'm membership in another. So I
So
have three
basically,
officer roles for
if
three
I
clubs.
had to become if I had to become a member of your club, I could do that from from England along with you. Yeah,
All
I
my
wouldn't mind.
clubs are. It has an online element to them.
Yes, I
One
would
of
love to
them
have.
is only online. So one of my clubs
Yeah,
is only on Zoom because we lost our essentially lost our location.
that's so cool, man.
But
So
we're only online in one. The other two are hybrid, so we're in person and online.
yeah, we also have online meetings every second every alternate week. So we have once in a month. 1 month we have physical and the gathering, and the second month we have the online meetings.
See, that's cool. Then you dedicate a day of the week or a 1 week to do just in person, and another week to do online. That's
Yeah,
actually I like that idea. The club that I visited as a guest in Italy, they did something
yeah,
like that. Every third Tuesday, they actually spoke English. But like I want to like go and immerse myself in Italian. I it meets in the same time as one of my clubs that I'm a member of, so I can't really I'd have to go to the other one and not go to the one club for a change. But like I just go to that one club, or I could find another club too that meets at a different time.
do you speak
And
Italian?
immerse my. I understand it. I can read it.
Oh, really?
And but when I'm hearing it, it doesn't come across well. I just need to immerse myself more in it, and that's a great way to do that. Go into when they speak Italian, hear the language,
Absolutely.
help
It
people
is.
speak
It is.
it
True.
with any language. And
Toastmaster
like,
is a powerful organization for public speaking and for developing your speaking skills, and even to create discipline
and
within you.
listening to a lot of other things. They come for the public speaking, but they get listening, they get communication, they get leadership development, they get personal development,
True.
all in one, not just the public speaking.
Correct. So true. So true. And
Go ahead.
and I just wanted to add on to that I've noticed from my experience, the people who have gone through the Toastmasters and spent few years there, they drastically, they change the way they speak. Toastmaster is such a powerful organization.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, they change you. The way you speak,
confidence.
yeah, the confidence it comes up, right? I've seen people who I mean they were just like so scared to even come up and say hi to somebody. Were you really? Yeah.
Now look at me now. I'm behind a
Now
mic
you are.
talking with people. Look at me
Yeah,
now.
it does. It does help. Yeah, it does help.
But
How
my
long you
first
have been?
speech, if you saw my first speech, man, I was sitting up there froze. My speech was just a bunch of pauses. My first speech.
How many years you've been in there?
2013, August 2013.
Oh, so that's almost
when I started Toastmasters.
11 years, yeah.
So I've been active ever since. Break 1 week for vacation, but I've been active the entire time. Didn't really.
You got that wall of certificates. Do you have that? Every time you get the certificates in your.
It's not a wall, but I do have a bunch of things that can go to my head. I don't like, but I just got to point out since we're talking about it.
Lovely, man. It's awesome. District Toastmaster of the Year.
Apparently, that's a big deal. I'm accepting it. I'm receiving it. So you got to receive those things too. You got to receive an award.
Absolutely. That is what I mean. It keeps you pushing. It gives you. It motivates you. So I know that they give certificates all the time. Every meeting you get. It's like a part of the culture, the Toastmaster.
That was related to like I helped the district form the digital online hybrid contest at a district level, and I helped orchestrate all that so we can. This year we used the hybrid contest so we can go back in person. Most of our national contests that we had that moves on to the next was all in person. Some districts, some clubs, my former club in Houston, District 56, I'm in District 50. That district is all online still. But we chose to go hybrid, and we can have an edge to go back in person where other districts are not going back in person yet because they don't know. Right. They don't have what I bring to the district. They don't have that. They have to outsource the technology.
No, yeah. I mean, I would love to hear from you after in a little informal communication we might have. And let me know how I can be a part of that online with you in your club. I would love to have have one of those participations. I mean, if
we can talk about that.
I would love
offline.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you talk about something that you wish you had 10 years ago. What is the best piece of technology that supported you the most? Now, whatever time.
Well, that's a tough one. I mean, there's so many of them. Any communication tool, Tommy. Mm-hmm. So any tool, technology which helps you communicate with others, with the world. That's
a connection tool.
Yeah. So any connectivity, any communication. For that, right now we are doing this podcast interview with you with this call through StreamYard. So StreamYard is a good, it's a sweet spot. Then we started with Skype. I remember Skype used to be my favorite when Skype came in. That's about 10 years back. So I was just a Skype fan all the time. Then it changed. Then came other Viber, WhatsApp, and I kept on increasing. And so now you have so many Zoom calls. I love Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is a good software. I like them. StreamYard is good. Emails, is something which I love. Blogging platforms, WordPress. I love WordPress. WordPress is I've been blogging 10 years on personal development. So that's what I use. And I don't think that's a real example of contribution we were talking of, Tommy. People from all over the world created a place where they can do whatever they want to create a value for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Anything that helps you share that connection.
Exactly. So these are few of the Software
Sharing is
is
caring.
sharing is caring. Definitely, definitely. That's how. And they are ever growing. They are ever growing. I mean, what technology you have today, Tommy? You are a technology. You are a geek yourself. Know what I'm talking of. There's nothing which is stable. So what you have in the trend today, it is going to change after a couple of months, yeah, if not weeks. So they keep changing. Technology is increasing. I mean, it's ever changing.
How do you think technology is going to change the world in the next 10 years?
I'm very optimistic about it. With the growth of artificial intelligence and machine learning and data sciences and data mining, and so everything is data now. What I
Mhm.
strongly believe in is data. Who owns the data owns the world. So that's why you have companies like Google, Facebook, you know, all these software companies, big companies, Microsoft. So they are the data owners, right? So they are the data owners. They have control over the human behavior, I would say. So they can change the world, the path the way world will go to. Yeah, it can go to right or to the wrong, good or bad, evil or saintly. So
Yeah.
future is very strong, provided it is being again applied in the right way. Yeah, so it's the application of the technology is growing. Yeah, so I mean, I don't now. You take professions again, copywriters. Yeah, they are not there anymore. You don't need copywriters anymore, right? Or you need them, but not to the extent you needed them 10 years back, 5 years back. You don't need content writers right now. What you need is developers. Yeah, so the again the change is happening. Artificial intelligence, people say that okay, artificial intelligence is going to come, people are going to lose, human jobs are going to be scarce, we might have to, we'll have uh, confrontation with artificial intelligence in the future. But again, it's how you are applying this technology for the betterment, and that's a big question, Tommy. Can we do that? So it's one skeptical thing, yeah. So there are great minds like Elon Musk, and there are I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg, or you can say the visionary leaders of the world. Yeah, there are some great Indian minds working on it. Great minds you have in UK also, all over the world. Yeah, so it's an ongoing journey. There's no one right tailored answer for that. That this is what it is going to be progressive, it is going to be good, but again, depends on where we take it along with us. We might have one of those films of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember Terminator? So you never know. For 20 years, you're having one of those scenarios. I mean, I don't think. I mean,
I'm sitting here thinking of a different movie of the past, but yeah, that definitely comes up. We can sit down. My next, I told my other guest the other day, like we'll have to come back on and just talk an hour and go down the rabbit hole of artificial intelligence, because that can be a rabbit hole.
That can be that we can speak days on that. We can speak days on that. But we have to be optimistic, and I think we are doing a great job right now. Technology is growing. Artificial intelligence is there. and it's going to grow. It's going to change the way the things that professions will change, relationships will change, communication will change. We might have maybe in the next 5 years, Tommy, Darpan, and artificial intelligence, third partner with us, not human. So that's what we are heading. The banking has changed. You have artificial intelligence in most of the answering machines now. In one of the any leading company, if you go to, if you make a call, you'll have artificial intelligence talking to you, not human anymore. So that's one change which you see now. Yeah. So it has changed. You have to give
in the last 5 years or so.
Last 5 years, yeah. I mean, if I have to pay my taxes, and if I have to call HMRC, we got artificial intelligence there sitting. Any question, yeah. So first 10 minutes, I speak to artificial intelligence, and then they direct me to a human if needed. So that's in every industry. You take recreation, you take entertainment, you take education, you take medical, banking, name any sector of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So its growth is going to be very optimistic about it. Very optimistic.
And we'll say this without going too far down the rabbit hole in this episode, that get my train of thought back before what you mentioned, Terminator, the Terminator series. I said another movie that comes to mind. Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Danielson, you're familiar with that movie series? They have a current that they're about to finalize the current series Cobra Kai, which is based on the dojo Cobra Kai,
Right.
And they're gonna wrap up that current series, which is based on the Karate Kid and everything. What did
Right.
he come? The biggest thing he taught Mr. Miyagi to his student Danielson, who came across him in that apartment one day in the valley. Balance.
Yeah. Right.
All about balance. We mentioned that before a little earlier to balance. How do you balance this up here and bring it more?
True.
You balance it all out, taking the good with the bad, because you're gonna get both. Like a few more other questions here that I have from the plan, and I have a few bonus questions, and then I want to find out how we as listeners can support you too. But like, what ethical, and you might have mentioned a little bit, but what actual ethical concerns you have the way technology is currently being used? How you think we can how it can be addressed?
Tommy, it's all about education. You have to be educated. Yeah. It can be a blessing, it can be a curse. Like we discussed, anything in the world, it has got two sides. It's two sides of the coin. So obviously, if we are educated, if our children are educated, if they are given right education, right from the childhood, yeah. So it's the technology is not only Netflix or watching films and cartoon films and playing video games. It's more than that. And how to utilize it, how to apply it in your life intelligently, with education, with literacy. That's what is important. Yeah. Because you see, the technology is there and it will be used by good people and by bad people. It's open.
Mm-hmm.
So the more good people will use it, the better it will be for the world.
Intent. Recognize someone's intent.
Exactly. It's how your intention. Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah. So what's your mindset?
If you saw my last post, I mentioned be intentional about it.
Absolutely. And not only intentional, but you have to be literate about it. You should know that this is the way it has to be. Yeah. So people should be able to. I mean, it's our duty to teach the children, the next generations, yeah, to be more and more educated about this. You know, yeah. So I've got a grown-up daughter. She is a financier and she's an economist, and I'm after her. Why you have to keep studying? She says, "Pop, why I have to do that? What's the reason?" Right? I've got a good job. I've got good this, but you have to keep continuing. Yeah, there's always a step forward. Technology is not. It's running faster than us.
Mhm.
I am 52 years old. I am starting artificial intelligence course now. I've just joined it. So I'm going to do that 2 years, and I'm going to launch an artificial intelligence company after 2 years. Yeah. Why? Because I know that this is going to be, this is what you need to do. So if you have the means, if you have the tools, if you have the time, if you have the resources, keep learning. More literate we are, the better world will be. Because those who are not literate, they are also doing their work there. So you need to be at par with them. It's
And
always great.
yeah, keep learning, keep
Keep learning.
educating yourself, no matter what it is. We have a big ethical thing with like gun laws and guns, and people like,
There's so
oh, it's
many
the
things to
guns,
learn. Tom.
but like,
Yeah,
is it the guns or the people? Is it what the people
absolutely.
know how to
Exactly.
use guns or technology? Actually, it's how we
True,
use the guns.
true,
It's how we
true.
use the computer. It's how we use the internet. Like you
Absolutely.
said, you brought that up before. It's how we talk to, how we interact with those bots, those AI bots.
Absolutely.
Asking Gary Vaynerchuk says it,
Yeah.
I think, the right way. Use it as a thinking tool. Use AI, the like Chat GPT or something like. Use it to like as a thinking assistant, and
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
and
you
just know that it's been programmed. You program
true,
something, it's gonna do exactly how it's programmed, with no
right.
emotion.
True. And it's a never-ending story. It's never ending.
Terminator, like it's gonna be set out on a mission to protect
Yeah,
its
I think that was one
yeah.
of his second movie or third series when he
Mhm.
becomes a good guy. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So that's
At
always
all costs, at any cost, it's nothing can get in his way. He's gonna protect, and that's his
protect.
main objective.
And Tommy, what we are doing is also the same thing. I mean, you can analogically, we are doing the same thing. What your goal is right now is to create a value for the people. That's what you're doing with me right now, Tommy. Right? You are trying to share. You give me your links. I'm going to listen to your podcast today. Right?
Mhm.
I mean, I ask you which is your most one podcast which you are proud of in your life. Yeah, that's your work. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm definitely very confident that that's going to inspire me. I'm going to learn from you. So are you learning from me? Yeah. So you are on the right path. I mean, you could just leave it aside. Yeah. You might not do this today. Yeah. You might go to a pub and have some, couple of beers and have some good time there, right? And like the trend works, but you're not. You're sitting and you are working with the technology.
This
So
is
you have
what I'm doing right now is my drinking. This is
Yeah, so this is your vision. You have a
I
vision.
take in knowledge, share knowledge, and yeah. But one last question of the plan, then I want to get into supporting you and everything. How do you
Sure.
balance those benefits of technology with the potential downsides, addiction, distraction, loss of privacy, just so many other things? How do you balance all of that? If we talk about the
Well,
balance.
Yeah. So I try to learn all the time, read about it. So
Learn
there is a very good author,
education.
education again. So it's a very, I mean, like a mind is reptile mind. So it keeps monkey mind, you would say, as Tim Ferriss says, it's a monkey mind. Yeah, it keeps
Hmm.
jumping. It's very true. So I read James Clear. I don't know you have
Hmm.
heard of. So very good book I would recommend to anybody for productivity is Habits. So it's a fat book,
Hmm.
Atomic Habits. I would recommend anybody, any of your listeners. This is really a good book to build up those small habits, which will help you with your distractions and keeping your mind at. So I do meditations every morning. Yeah, so that's one part of the thing which I do, which helps me to pacify my impulsiveness, keeps it under control, and more being, mindfulness. So that helps a lot.
I
And
know Hindu. Was it Hindu or maybe Buddhism more? But they before the meditation got big here, like Buddhism was big on
Buddhist,
meditation. Would what?
yeah, yeah. So meditation, it all originated from India.
Hmm.
So it's a part of the yoga. Yoga is the physical side of it, and meditation is the mental side of it. So you will see monks sitting in the foothills of Himalaya or in the mountains. They spend years just being alone, in solitude, and that gives you being close to the nature. So in US, you have a very good Deepak Chopra. I don't know you have heard of him. He's a
Yeah.
great living author and meditator and the teacher of mental personal development area. So he talks quite a lot about it. And do you do meditation yourself, Tommy?
Say that one more time.
Do you do meditation yourself?
I do. If you want to call breathing a little bit, I try and not as maybe as much. But I know breathing can be considered
Breathing
meditation,
is very,
right?
yeah, breathing is,
If
yeah,
you hear
absolutely.
Wim Hof,
Yeah.
Wim Hof, I
So
think he's from Poland or I don't know where he's from. Wim Hof, the
yeah,
Iceman
Wim Hof is he's from Iceland.
with
So
the ice
he,
baths and cold
yeah,
water, cold showers.
I do that, man. I do that. I
Hmm.
do cold showers. It's very helpful. This is something which Tony Robbins also
I do
teaches
cold
about.
showers too.
Cold showers, yeah, that's very helpful. The first thing you do, your mind is, sleeping in the morning, yeah. So you just make it, alive. Yeah, so the moment you take, and your body gets used to the cold showers. Yeah, so in the beginning when I started, like, I don't know, I've been doing it for over 5 years now, maybe more. I'm almost 8 years now. And when I started, the first 5 6 months, I used to be real. I had the fear to go into the shower or not to go, because oh, it's going to be cold and that. And now it's just become a part of your life.
Hmm.
So good readings about productivity from the gurus who are there. Meditation helps a lot. Building up those habits like cold showers and all, they do help you. End of the day, it's about the mindfulness. So if it helps you, if you are in the control of your habits, if you from the side you can see those habits and you can observe them, yeah, it's not like something which is a default happening with you, right? You are sitting and you're having a donut on the side and you're putting it there and you're doing this and you're taking another donut and enjoying, and the mind is a default, it's not observing, and you put on those calories of, I don't know, 3,000 calories just on those donuts during the day. Yeah. And then you say, why I'm feeling lethargic? Because you have taken so much of sugar. You didn't even think about that. You didn't even, you didn't have in your mind that you were doing that. Your mind was working by default. Yeah. So when you have that control over you, this oh, this is a donut. I'm not going to do that. This is sugar. This is going to be lethargic for me. I can't do anything. I have to go to the gym in the evening. Yeah. So when you have those calculations in your mind, it's called mindfulness. It's the presence. You have the control over the things. That's very important, Tommy.
And
now,
when I realized the donuts, like one thing that helps and supports me and a lot of people, I'm sure, drinking water. When I don't, I recognize a distinct feeling of fatigue and tired. It's like I haven't drunk enough water.
That's the first thing. The first thing when I get up from the bed is I drink minimum 2 glasses of water. So your body gets dehydrated in the night, so you need water in that. It really changes your whole thing. Your organism gets light up. And then if you add to that a shower, and then you're ready, you do some meditation, you do your prayer, whatever is your concept is there, and then you're ready. Your mind is like, you're in a different mood totally. Yeah. So you're in the control of the situation. And all this is happening based on technology. So for everything what we have talked of, there are technological tools now. So personal development with technology is what they go side by side. And world is a fantastic place. There are so much of things good happening. There are so many things we can do in the world right now. You see, if we have the resources in our hands, yeah, there's so much of people you can help around. There's so much of curse in the world which can be resolved. Yeah, unfortunately, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So technology can be a great help for that, Tommy. That's what. And so my goal in the life is to build up a entrepreneurial college. Yeah, for the things which we did not get, I would want that to be have free to the people who have the talent in life. So, God willing, if I have the resources in my life, I'll do that. I want to build a hospital for the people who cannot do it by themselves. Yeah. So where you can just enter, you have an ailment and nobody will ask you. You have to pay for it. Yeah. Do show me your insurance. Do you have that or not? This has to be done. It's humanitarian. It's a human life. You need to save it. Yeah. So these are some of the things which I would love to do in my lifetime. Yeah. If God willing, I have the power to do that. Again, it will be all needed based on the technology. So we have got a future. We have got optimism. There's a lot of things good going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Talking about that good and to bring that hospital that you mentioned that you want to build up and everything. Where can people find you, connect with you at the most? Where you like to hang out the most on the internet?
Yeah, so I've got this blog, noblethoughts.com, which I usually write about the blog. So I'll send you the link to that. It's www.noblethoughts, N-O-B. So I didn't have Noble available domain, so I did converted it's N-O-B-E-L. So that's a little difficult for the SEO purposes, but that's how it is. So where I blog about the personal development arena, about the leaders throughout the world, and then I have got building up a YouTube channel. I have got a video series which I'm developing on daily basis. It's called Noble Thoughts Daily. So where we take an episode and we talk about the personal development. So that's one of the things. Then I am available on the Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. I'll share with you all the links to that.
Yeah, get me that. Well, I'll link them all up in the show notes here.
I have a podcast,
podcast. Yeah, what do you do? Is that the Noble Thoughts or is that something different?
Yeah, it's Noble Thoughts. It's Noble Thoughts, School of Noble Thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
School of Noble Thoughts podcast. So I call it School of Noble Thoughts show. So basically, Lewis Howes was a big inspiration for me. I would be very honest here. So I saw School of Greatness, and I said I should create something of School of Novel Thoughts. So idea is
I thought of that myself, like School of Technology or something like that. But
you better do that. Yeah, we will be needing that. You owe it to the world, Tommy. You owe it to us. So please do that. Thank you for what you're doing. Great job, and thank you.
need to maybe I could build a series of workshops and call it the School of Technology.
Yeah,
Sweet
you
Tea's-
should do that. Yeah.
Sweet Tea's School of Technology.
I mean, why not? Yeah, I mean, if you have lots of things to share with the, you're doing this on daily basis, and I have got like I don't have any super, super ultra rich people there or ultra successful people. What I have is my circle, the people I know. So I just brought them. If you go to Noble Thoughts and there's a menu in the menu, this podcast link is there. So if you click on that, you will be able to see that the people I have, they are just a normal like you and me. Yeah, but they are successful in their life, whatever they are doing. Yeah. So success is not only that you have to be Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or I don't know, we all can be successful at whatever we are doing, at whatever level we are doing. Yeah. But provided there is a value in that.
Mm-hmm.
I might want you to, I mean, the way you are growing and the way you are, the job which you are doing, Tommy, I would love to have you one day on my podcast. Yeah, it will be my honor.
I'm looking to get on as many shows as I can too, so I would love that.
Yeah.
So how can I support you? Aside from that too, like anywhere.
Man, just be there. Just be there where what you are doing, and I'm very happy that I know you, to be friends with you, to be a part of your journey, and your job, your support will be always needed. You are a tech guy. You are a geek. You are close to the personal development, so you're always needed. So you can be very helpful in creating technological piece of, as I grow, I'll be needing you for that. Yeah, so that's maybe the podcast, maybe the shows, we'll always need your help. Always.
And I'll do my best. If you're for one book one of them, and forgetting who at the time, but the 4 agreements. One of the agreements. Do your best. Another, don't take things personal, but always do your best. I'm going to do my best to share what I know.
I'm confident about that, Tommy. And so that's.
So I have 3 final questions. These are not in those questions I sent you before, so these are off the cuff designed to get you thinking. You might have heard them if you listened to the School of Greatness. Not you heard a variation of. I changed it up a little bit, but 3 final questions. How can businesses, individuals, people work together to ensure new technologies are developed and delayed? Actually, no. I think we already discussed that. There's going to 3 truths. I'm going to read it here. So let's back up here. When it comes to our constant companions, phones, computers, smartphones, devices, iPad, tablets, what are 3 undeniable truths you've observed about their impact on our lives?
So these devices it's all about literacy, as we just spoke, and it's again about you controlling the devices, not the other way around, right? So it's again coming to the productivity, distraction, habits, micro habits. So, I'm not saying that I'm perfect in it, but what I'm trying to learn now is to get away from the telephones in the earlier hours of the day. Yeah. So this is something which Tim Ferriss is a profound propagator of, and he is written, I don't know, lots of blogs about it and distractions. And so if you keep your telephone away from your bed, let's say 1 or 2 meters, and just leave it in the corner on the floor, I don't know. So you don't have to. The first thing that we do is when we get up is to see what our social media is doing, WhatsApp and this and this. So this has become a habit, yeah. So you get like programmed to the things, to the telephones, and I do it all the time, yeah. But it's making us mad in a way, yeah. So when you start your day, it's again about the control, right? I've got this screen, you can see it at the back, Netflix, yeah. So I have got a urge in the night to switch on the Netflix and see what's happening, yeah. What's the next thing there? What's the next thing? And then Netflix, they give you every evening, they give you something new, based on your behaviors of the day. Again, it depends on me. If I have the control, I don't need that Netflix. And if I would go off to sleep at 10 o'clock as I have planned, I don't do that. Yeah. So I keep on, lingering it till 12 o'clock because I don't have a control over the devices. Yeah. That is a device just behind me. Telephones. Yeah. You got, so it's one word which comes up is your literacy and control over the technology, over the devices.
That's one. Is there?
Yeah.
That's for 3 truths. So there's one. Do you have 2 more? It's okay if you only have one, but
yeah, that's the big one. And the second and third, you could put it is optimization, right? So let's say you have got 5 apps for the same thing. Do you need those 5 apps? Yeah.
What works? What doesn't work?
What doesn't work, right? So that's just like you have Zoom, you have got StreamYard, you got XYZ. So which is the best? Which helps you? Yeah. And
who's
which
controlling
is
who? Optimization.
Yeah. So number 2 is optimization, and number 3, I would say, is productivity. So you have to keep it. Look at them, how productive they are for you, for your work, for your lifestyle. Yeah. So these are the 3 things I would put them into.
And the next question is similar to that, but the lessons. What crucial lessons? 3 lessons, or however many, one or 3. 3 lessons we should all learn in handling the tools. 3 lessons that you've come to learn
with the technology. You mean, yeah? So be optimize them. Number 1. Number 2, be literate about them. Yeah, you should be able to handle them intelligently.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
YouTube, the school of YouTube University, whatever.
Right. And the third I would say is come from the heart, from the place of kindness when you are using them. I know it's not the one which you expected to come out, but I think the user behavior, it plays a lot of important role in how you use your devices. Yeah. So if you're coming from a place of kindness, helpfulness, you will use the same application, the same device, little differently than it was vice versa. So that's very important. So your human connection with the machine, with the device, has to come from a place of being human, being kind.
Yeah, show the love, bring If we
I mean, yeah. So
passion, love, let it all come out.
I mean, I don't say it has to be love. It can be anything, but it has to be showing your human kindness, your humanness in the things, not your place of unhappiness, adversity, criminal mindedness. Not good for the world. You can find that all that also on the devices right today.
Mm-hmm.
You can it's all there. So those are my 5 cents.
Bring up the adversity, and then how do you overcome something? And you can bring up in that way, I would say.
Exactly.
So before I get to the final question, you think of the Tim Ferriss thing and not using technology in the mornings or something. Lewis Howes comes up with a great tip. What are 3 things that you want to accomplish in the day or to get this day started before you ever touch your phone? 3 things. Do those 3 things, and then you can make your bed, brush your teeth, drink water. Simple things. It could be simple things. Go for a walk. Walk your dog.
Right.
3 things before you ever touch your phone.
You just said them. What I do. Make your bed. Yeah. Drink water. Cold shower.
Mm-hmm.
These 3 things.
Beautiful.
And obviously, if you go to the next one, is the meditation.
And you do that, and you feel like just going to that personal development thing. You feel already productive. You've got a lot of stuff done in the day, and the day's getting started. Right. You're starting the day off productive.
Absolutely, Tommy. Absolutely. You nailed it. That's how it is. You just owe the day. You just have the control over the things. It's not that like a monkey mind, you're reacting to the things, Oh, this has popped up. And even if you are, I know it's tough. You cannot have everything on your to-do list happening and accomplishing it. It doesn't happen. It never happens. Yeah. If somebody says he is able to do that, he's lying. Yeah. There are always things which are left undone, or you have not even touched them. So do just one thing, accomplish one thing. So what you will see over the time is every day you're doing one thing, and you're getting that snowball effect. It's increasing. The momentum is increasing. So as a result of that, you are doing a progress. So that one accomplishment is very important on your to-do list.
I've seen that with everything I do. Like I started out with a basic bare bones desk, and now I impress myself every time I look at my desk. Like it gets bigger and better, and
it gets bigger.
Me being the video technology, I'm hosting 2 podcasts now, and it just gets bigger. It just gets bigger. True. Snowball. I love it. Final question. Love to come on your podcast. We can talk about that offline, of course. Scheduled day and time.
I'll let you know. Yeah, sure.
What is your definition of innovation?
Man, innovation is very important. And innovation, I would put it, is a pathway to growth. You cannot grow if you're not innovating. And if you're not, as Tony Robbins says, if you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're not innovating, you're dying. It cannot be any simpler. So you have to keep innovating. Innovation of ideas, innovation of relationships, innovation of money-making processes, innovation of entrepreneurship, innovation of doing good for the world, innovation for everything what you're doing. It's all innovation. So that's my thoughts on that.
When you're innovating, you're changing with the times. Love it.
Exactly. You're growing. You're just growing.
This was a great conversation. Thank you for coming on to talking with me today. This morning, it's morning for me. It's in the evening for you. Other side.
Yeah,
But it was fun. I had a great time.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Thank you for
you.
having me. It has been a great pleasure. And my friend, I look forward to speak to you again very soon.
Yes.
Cheers. Take care.
We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. It's always a blast exploring the tech universe with you. But alas, it's time to wrap things up. If you've got burning tech questions or just want to say hello, remember you can reach out to us on our website, social media, or drop us an email. We love hearing from you. And if you found this episode as electrifying as we did, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us keep the tech goodness flowing. Don't forget to share Tech Time with Sweet Tea with your fellow techies. The more, the merrier, right? As we sign off today, always remember that tech is a tool and it's here to serve you. So use it wisely, explore fearlessly, and keep it real in your tech adventures. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep rocking the digital world. Catch you on the next episode of Tech Time with Sweet Tea.